Wade
and Wade
reacts.
This is our review for Amazon's Fallout. We're going to tell you the good, the bad, and our nitpicks. So let's get into the good.
Firstly, the series felt like Fallout. We got that feeling from the trailer, but we weren't too sure on how they were going to develop the atmosphere of the Fallout series. We didn't know if they were going to have too much comedy, too little comedy. We didn't know if the tone was going to be somewhat serious or overly serious. But when we got into the series, we saw that the director and the writers kept the tone as close to the games as possible. And it even felt like the games. The way that the story started off in the vault felt like how Fallout games feel when you first start creating your character and you begin to traverse and explore the vault environment. So they did a wonderful job at capturing the essence of what Fallout was. They had compelling characters. The lead character, Lucy. Man, it's been a joy to follow this character throughout the Fallout world. You got Maximus. You got Lucy's brother, Norm. You got the Ghoul played by Walton Giggins. I mean, so many good characters to follow. So many great actors portraying these characters and really bringing the Fallout world to life. They capture the grittiness, the gore, the violence that is in the Fallout world. They captured the atmosphere of the wasteland, perfectly portrayed. I mean, they did a great job, and I'm pretty sure we'll talk about more of the good as this review goes on.
Yeah, I will say I like this adaptation. This is one of the best video game adaptations that there is out there. They do the story justice. There's a few things, if you're a hardcore Fallout fan, that will upset you, not to the point where it'll take you out of the show, but just because they change small things, not anything that's integral to the lore of Fallout. So overall, the series, they do a good job of breaking down the different factions, whether it's the Brotherhood, whether it's the NCR, or if it's just a ghoul walking walking around. And they even get into some of the deeper lore of Fallout, that some stuff I didn't even know about. I had to go on the wiki and look up. So as far as that goes, that's all the good I had to say about it.
Man, this series felt just like a Fallout mission. If you recall Fallout 3, the main character's father left to purify the water. He left and went on a mission to purify the water. Lucy's father was captured so that he could be forced to give up the code to Cold Fusion. And the main character, Lucy, just like the main character in Fallout 3, goes on a quest to track down her father. So the drama series, or the Fallout Amazon series, played just like the game. They didn't just focus on the main quest, but the character even had side quests. Went on to gain a companion in Maximus, and somewhat of a companion in the Ghoul. So if you are a lover of the games and a fan of the games and someone who's played the games for years, you'll enjoy that this series stays extremely close to how the game's storyline progresses.
I agree with that. And I know you said the Ghoul was more of a follower to her, but I think she was more of a follower to the Ghoul, because as we watch this story Fallout, we see things through her eyes, but most of the stuff that's integral to the plot is from the Ghoul's flashbacks.
That's true. Yeah, and the flashbacks, that's another thing. The flashbacks were well placed. The Ghoul would either get knocked out and go into a flashback, or maybe he would sit down and reminisce on the times before the Fallout. So, man, it was well written. And it was certain things you looked at like, dang it, I don't think they're going astray from how Fallout stories are told. Then it circles back like, oh, that's unique and clever how they did that.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And it comes right back into the pocket of how Fallout stories are told.
Yeah, so let's get into the bad.
Some of the factions did things that were uncharacteristic of the factions, in my opinion, when it comes to the game's lore. Like the NCR. They didn't have the NCR armor on. Some random people had the combat NCR armor on. I think that some of the Brotherhood soldiers and some of the Brotherhood higher ups were acting out of character. When you look at how the Brotherhood acts on, or rather in the Fallout games, then they had some religious people in the Brotherhood. Now the Brotherhood is a quasi-religious group, or quasi-religious group, however you say it. But their religious practices are not overt. They had some people shaking some type of ritual tools when Maximus was being summoned for questioning. So I thought that was those two things I named from the NCR and Brotherhood were kind of uncharacteristic. I don't know if those would necessarily be bad, but those are what I'm placing in the bad category.
Yeah, kind of like those little Catholic priests walk around and swing that incense.
Yeah.
It was kind of like that. And I agree with you, because at first I was going to let that slide, because I was like, we haven't really came into contact, like, because we only played 3, Vegas, and 4. So we haven't really came into contact with the West Coast, Brotherhood of Steel, but that's not true, because we did in New Vegas.
Yeah.
They sent some of their guys to New Vegas, I guess to, expand their reach or something like that. So, yeah, and there was no hints or signs of them being religious. Maybe there's something in the deep lore that they pulled from and threw that in there, but as me and you know,
Yeah.
nothing like that. But as far as the bad, to me, I couldn't really find too much bad about this show. I don't really think I have anything to throw into the bad category. Maybe sometimes the CGI is iffy. That's about it. I can't really complain about about this show. So let's get into the nitpicks.
The Brotherhood armor did not have the jetpack on the back of the armor, but instead, the Brotherhood power armor had jetpacks in the wrists. And that is not the way the jetpacks are placed in the game. And the suit is so bulky and heavy that little thrusters in the forearm area would not be enough to carry that suit and propel it through the air.
Yeah, and as far as the nitpick go, mine is what you put in the bad. That NCR, man, that was upsetting me, because especially if you played Vegas, man, that NCR, that's one of my favorite factions on the game. And then even the way the regular guys dress with that padded armor, and the way that you said that just like you said about the their combat armor with the red eyes and the helmet and all that. That was one of the things with one of the selling points of Fallout New Vegas. That was on the cover, and it was it was on the commercial. But for them to, I don't know, they made the NCR feel like, I feel like the NCR was more organized when I played New Vegas. Yeah, I didn't feel like they were like some underground faction that the Brotherhood could just run up. I felt like they were just as powerful as the Brotherhood.
Yeah, I felt the same way, because the Brotherhood were in New Vegas, but they were kind of in hiding. The NCR ran New Vegas, civilized New Vegas, kept law in New Vegas. Now, they did have a sign that said that the new California Republic occupied that part of the land, and they had like 34,000 members or citizens in that city. So maybe this is because this is after New Vegas, right? Yeah. So is it far enough out from New Vegas for the NCR, the original NCR, to have been disbanded? And this right here might be the new, less organized NCR?
I guess, because I don't know the timeline, because I know from 3 to 4, that's 10 years. Yeah. And from 4 to this, that's 11. So I don't know where does Vegas fall in the timeline? I don't know if that's enough time for that. But they did say that not the Brotherhood, that company, what's the name of that company that made all the Vault-Tec? Yeah, they dropped the bomb. Again. Yeah, again. But still, they got factions. I would think that they just keep dropping on that one spot. And like it was in LA, didn't it? Where they dropped the bomb. They're the New Republic of California, so they should have other settlements around California.
So do you think they're kind of like the Brotherhood, where they might have a Brotherhood outpost that may not be as powerful as the Brotherhood in the Citadel or around the area where Elder Maxon is present? Because maybe the NCR presence is stronger in New Vegas, where Hank went at the end of the series.
Yeah, but I would think, because Vegas is in Nevada, so I would think that you have your most powerful people in California. And then and I think that your faction would be so powerful, or powerful enough, if you can send out some scouts or a little, or do a campaign and go to somebody else's state
Yeah.
you would have enough people in California to have like a stronghold there.
That makes sense. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
But outside of the NCR, I don't really have any nitpicks.
True.
I mean, maybe I would have liked to see. And one thing though, this ain't even a nitpick. I should have put this in the good category. I want to praise the show because they only had 8 episodes, like all modern TV, but every episode was an hour plus.
Yeah, that's a thing I missed. Every episode was like an hour, 20 minutes, so they could pack a lot of lore, a lot of story, and they could detail the missions. It didn't feel like it was rushed. It was perfectly paced. It was paced just like the game almost.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so for all you other streaming services out there, take notes.
Yeah, take notes.
So from a scale from whack to masterpiece, where do you rank this show?
This show is definitely not whack. This show is in the upper echelon. I wouldn't consider this show a masterpiece yet because we can't judge it from one season. But I'll judge this if this show is gonna just have one season. I would say this show is a great watch. This series did a good job at keeping this Fallout lore intact. Like I said previously, the series plays just like a Fallout game. They give you the main quest, they give you the side quest, they give you compelling companions to the main character, Lucy. They give you an intriguing villain that almost disappears, and reappears like villains do in Fallout. So they did it perfectly. They give you a character that at first you probably didn't like, Maximus. Then he redeems himself later on in the plot and becomes a character that you can enjoy. So I would give this rating, or this show, the rating of great.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to Sam and say it's a great show. It didn't disappoint. That's one of the things that I thought this show was gonna do. When I seen the trailer, I was like, this is gonna be another trash video game adaptation. Hey, I was wrong. They wowed me, so I'm gonna go great. So that's been our review. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and we'll see you on the next one. We're out of here.
Peace.